let's talk about All Met, because this is not your first All Met selection, right? Third one.
I was not aware of that, honestly.
Yeah, third one for you. But guess what? All Met Player of the Year. Now we're talking. How does that sound when that tickles your ear?
Crazy, honestly. I'm honored.
There you go. Well, when did you find out? How did you find out?
My coach, I remember at the beginning of the season, he was like, hey, like, I think you're going to be like one of the top runners for this. And I was like, okay, I didn't really know what it was. Right. So I looked it up. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's awesome. And then Noah reached out to me, and he called me later on the day, and he was like, hey, we've selected you for All Met Swimmer of the Year. And I was like, whoa, like, that's crazy.
What? That's wild.
Yeah.
Who'd you call first?
I ran downstairs and told my dad, and then I called my mom, and then I called my sister and her boyfriend.
Reactions of mom. I always love to hear how mom reacts.
She was like, that's awesome, like, no way. She was pretty excited for me.
As a swimmer in the DMV, you know we've got some pretty famous people who might have been swimmers and currently are, maybe a couple of Olympic medals and whatnot. But when you think about Katie Ledecky and being associated with a name like that, what does that mean for you?
Personally, I don't associate myself with her. I think that's like, she's her own person, I'm my own person. Sure, we both came from the same club, and I mean, I know her old coach. I think she's great. She's a great swimmer, great person, and it's crazy for me to fathom being in the same limelight as her. So we're both our own individual people, and if people put us together, crazy, but awesome.
But now I'm curious, amongst your accolades that you've accumulated so far, where does All Met Player of the Year rank for you?
It's definitely up there. Probably top achievement.
Now, as a swimmer, like, what is the passion motivated by to become a proficient swimmer, to be excellent at it?
That's a great question. I always strive to be better in the pool and better as a human being, and I think swim really does help me with that. I like to say I'm pretty humble, and I think swim does help me with that. And I I'm a very motivated person, and I'm a very competitive person, and swim brings that out in me a lot. And it just really, swim allows me to do both of those things very well.
Pre-match ritual, what's yours?
Ooh. I like to listen to some music prior to my races. I never take my music behind the blocks because I wear earplugs whenever I swim.
Right.
And I can't wear earbuds if I have the earplugs in. So what I try and do is I just try and tune everyone out, stretch around a little bit, and most people are slapping themselves behind the blocks. I just stare down the pool, and I just take deep breaths to get my air, and then whenever we go, we go. But I just shake out a little bit behind the blocks, and then after that, I'm just still.
I like that stillness. I like that stillness, that precognitive looking down the lane. What are you seeing in your pre-visualization?
I'm telling myself, you've done these in practice a bunch, you've raced these a bunch, you know what to do, and I just kind of run through the basic things I have to do, and I never think about numbers whenever I swim. I never think about time, I never think about a kick count. Cognitively, I know my kick count, and I will just be able to do it like off the walls. And I never like to think about time because it always psychs myself out.
Such a grounded perspective. Like, there are people who are literally like, all right, I've got to do point here, I got to get to this lane.
Well, there have been times where my coach is like, all right, you got to do this time. I'm like, okay. And I add like 2 seconds. Then no one sets a time to me at all. I drop 2 seconds.
You might have to put that in a book. Like, that's seriously like very mature and a healthy way of looking at it, pushing yourself beyond what's expected of you. I like that. But now I have to ask, because you are a junior in high school, you got practice, you got competition, you still have your responsibilities as an academician. How do you balance all of it out?
It is very hard, for sure. Normally at the beginning of every school year, I go to my coaches, or my teachers, and oh my gosh, I'm in the water too much. I go to my teachers and I'm like, hey, this is what I do, this is my schedule, and I'll talk them through it. and I'll try and help them explain where I come from. And then throughout the year, I get my schedule and I let them know, like, hey, like, I'm gonna be gone here. Like, can you give me stuff to catch up with? And normally they're pretty flexible and they'll give me extensions. And then practicing and homework, I normally go to practice after school, eat food, and then do homework for 2 hours and go to bed. It's quite a rigorous cycle.
It is indeed. So how do you kind of unplug from all that?
I like to watch a movie. I love movies.
Love movies.
Love movies.
What genre?
Everything except for horror.
Fair. Yeah, fair with that. Especially for a precog person, last thing you want is remember all that. Favorite movie?
I like Top Gun Maverick. And I also like the Kingsman movies. Kingsman, Secret Service.
Eggsy and all the boys, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
I love those movies. And I love Elton John, and he's in the second one.
Yes.
It's great. Love him.
We're supposed to be talking all men. We're going to get into a Kingsman conversation.
Hey, I'm all for it.
I'm so for it. Oh my gosh, I got to get back to the interview. Okay, 2024 Olympic Trials, Indianapolis, last summer.
Yes.
How did that experience motivate you?
It was crazy. It was very intimidating. I didn't feel like I should have been there because, as I said before, I don't think about numbers whenever I swim. So when I got my trials cut, I had the number lodged deep in the back of my brain. And behind the blocks, I was like, it's just another swim. And I ended up getting the cut, and it really surprised me. I did not expect to get it at all. So the fact that I even went to trials was just mind-blowing for me. I mean, I got the cut when I was 15, and I went when I was 16.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. As I said, didn't feel like I belonged there, but obviously I did because I made it.
Right.
A lot of big names, a lot of very flashy. It was very fun. I very much enjoyed it. But it was a crazy experience, and I didn't do my best at trials, which is fine. Everyone has their off days. I think I was just so nervous, and I think I kept a number in my mind, which was my best time. And I was like, I need to beat this with all these people here, but I didn't. That's totally okay, and I'm totally fine with it. And I think from there I've learned to let go a little bit more and not dwell on bad times, or if I was having an off day. Normally, if I add time, I'll get out and smile, and I'm like, I tried my best. So
I'm really captured by your perspective on how you deal with yourself, time, and everything. Who helped you, if anyone? Let me not be presumptuous and say someone did, but if there were someone who kind of helped mold this mentality and perspective, who would it be?
That's a great question. I think it comes from a lot of people in my life. Okay. My friends, my family, my coaches. I used to be really hard on myself with times, and I'd sometimes get out crying because I just wasn't happy with myself. I was like, why? I worked this hard, like, why is it not paying off? But I've realized that not all my races are gonna go good. Not all of them are gonna be the best, and I've heard that from my friends and my family, and I think I've just picked it up from them. So it's caused me to have a better outlook on all of my races and learn from it.
Well, and if we were in boxing, I'd say shout out to your corner. Those are the people who really kept you on it. And as far as worrying about being the best, I know one thing for certain. You're the best of the best this year because you're all Met Player of the Year.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure's mine.